Hey everybody, it's Darren here, and what are you playing right now?
I'm playing Call of Duty Mobile.
I know, it just was released in Canada, right?
I think so, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's top in the App Store, so
I know.
give it a try.
Well, we got a show going on.
Hi everyone.
Hey, it's Darren here, White Hatters.
I'm Brandon.
So what do we got going?
We have a lot of topics to talk about. Well, not a lot, but some really in-depth topics to talk about this week.
We certainly do.
Sorry we weren't live last week, but we were traveling and we were presenting at a conference.
We were. Yeah. We were down in Washington State, right? Teaching, I think it was over 180 law enforcement officers from around Washington State on the issues surrounding social media and safety and security and investigations, how to conduct investigations.
It was a lot of fun. It was a whole day of training, and it was really good.
So how can people, as we're going through today's presentation, how can people connect with us? Because we are going to be able to answer live questions during the broadcast.
Yes,
so how do we go about doing that?
Well, before we start, hey everyone in the chat, thank you for engaging, and thank you for all of you who just jumped over from our Instagram Live. For those of you who have just joined us, remember you can connect with us in the comments, on Twitter, on Instagram and Facebook. Join the conversation, engage with us. We love engaging and answering questions and hearing your comments on the topics we're going to talk about.
And as I say every show, YouTube is called YouTube because it's all about you, right? And so we want you to help us participate by connecting with us. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, right? Subscribe button. So hi, Unicorn Llama. How are you doing? A big shout out there. Hi, Lois. And will you guys come back to CNP? I don't know what CNP is.
Which one's CNP? We've been to a lot of schools.
So if whoever said welcome back, let us know. So what's the first thing we want to talk about, Brennan?
Our first topic is we're going to talk about our updates.
Yes.
Some things that have come up since our last live show.
Yep.
First thing is kind of a new announcement we're announcing today. We did a coding academy a couple weeks ago for teens.
That was last week. Yeah, last week. Went over really well.
Yeah, it was last week.
Yeah, it was last week. Went over very, very, very. In fact, a number of the students gave us like an 11 out of 10.
Ooh.
Like, that was awesome. And big shout out to both Jillian and Kelby, who were our presenters, right? They were just awesome. The kids loved them and that kind of stuff. So as a result of that, we started to get requests from a specific group of individuals, right? And so as a result of that, what are we announcing?
Because our teen academy went so well, we're going to do one for educators.
We are. So we had a ton of requests from those who are teachers, TAs, other educators going, hey Darren, can you kind of teach us some basic coding stuff? Because the kids are talking about it in class, and we would like to have some knowledge so we can kind of engage in conversations, which is really cool. So we have decided that Kelby and Jillian are now going to run a coding class for educators. And it's going to be in August, and it's 24th. It's a Saturday from 9 to 4:30 p.m. And by the end of it, we're also going to be able to give all those who are going to be attending lesson plans. So they'll be able to take them back to their class to engage the kids in live lessons about coding. I mean, what's really important to know is that this year in Canada, it was reported that there were 182,000 openings for coders, like for people who can code, right? If you can code Python, HTML, JavaScript, and all those kind of things. And so what better way to start teaching coding is like any other language than in school. And so schools are coming on board, and now we're going to be educating some teachers. So that's kind of cool.
That's wonderful.
And you're going to be able to find more information about that on our website.
Yeah, it's on the front page of the website, thewhitehatter.ca.
Yeah, and also it'll be on our Facebook page today as well. So what else do we got to talk about?
Unicorn Llama got back. It was Crow's Nest High in Alberta.
That was a great trip.
A lot of fun
we actually, last week, we showed a video of the big rocks, the largest rock slide in Canada.
So because we weren't live last week, we did a pre-recorded show where Darren and I, we kind of reviewed and kind of responded and reacted to a bunch of the media we collected last school year. So check out that video. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully next year we'll have a lot more videos to show.
Lewis Lobster, he just had something. Well, Lois, what did they have to say?
I love your background, by the way.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Actually, Candace, the social media coordinator, she is the one who does all this, and she's actually my partner, my spouse, and before the show, she's the one that kind of sets the background. She changes things a little bit every show.
Yeah, and she's the one who's actually taking the if anybody has suggestions about anything you'd like to see on the scene, let us know. And she's the one working in the background right now, right? Taking questions and answering chats and doing all that kind of stuff. So what else do we have to share as updates?
Well, I mentioned it that we were at a conference.
Hey, that's you.
And it was a very busy conference.
That's you.
So we were only able to take this small picture, but basically it shows you that this was a day-long conference. We were teaching members of law enforcement, school security officers, and school administrators, different ways on how to do online investigations.
And they gave us a full day. Nobody else in the conference had a full day. They gave us a full day. And the feedback was phenomenal.
Yeah, and you can see in the image right there, full day, right? It's like
it was awesome.
The main 2 blocks there were us.
Yeah, and as a result of that, we as a company are also going to be running a course here in Canada. We're going to run it right out of the White Hatter studio, right, for school resource officers, where we're going to teach them how to conduct online investigations. So if you know a police officer, school resource officer, either in Canada or the United States, there's no reason why those law enforcement in the United States who hear us speak can't come up here to Canada. Great place to visit. The dollar makes your US dollar really cheap, so it's cheap to come up here. And there's hotels around us. Again, that's going to be on our website actually today. Or no, that'll be up on our website Tuesday on that course after the long weekend. But the teachers one will be up today. So what else we got going on?
Let's talk about some
next segment.
Some news
hold on, here we go. In the news.
First thing I want to talk about, I think this one kind of hit the news waves pretty hard.
Yeah, parents were pulling their hair out over this one, eh? Yeah, a 16-year-old wins a $3 million grand prize at Fortnite World Cup. $3 million. And he was in the U.S., and we had a Canadian young man up here, teen. He won, I think it was $1.3 million, right? So so this is probably pulling, parents pulling, because it's amazing to hear how many parents will say to kids, don't play video games, going to rot your brain, right? Well, maybe not. Maybe it's going to pay for my education and make me a wealthy person, right? But let's be honest, getting to that level of play and winning that much money takes a lot of time and dedication. It's like a professional sport. I mean, so it's even though you play basketball doesn't mean you're going to have the skills and the ability to make it to the NBA, right? So it's rare that you're going to get up to that level, but it does definitely show you that if you're dedicated to something, how well it is. And again, they estimate that e-gaming will rival the NFL when it comes to money-making ventures. Like, it's unbelievable. So congratulations to the winner of that tournament and to the young Canadian. I think who placed second or third place and won like $1.3, $1.5 million. Pretty good chunk of change.
A lot of money.
Pretty good chunk of change, right? What else we got going?
This is a cool one. Interesting statistics, and actually, you've done a couple radio kind of shows talking about this. Actually,
I did.
In regards to cybercrime rates.
This is an interesting one. Considering I was in law enforcement for 30 years, there's been a trend in Canada that crime, especially violent crime, has been decreasing over the years, but online crime has been increasing, and that doesn't surprise me. Like, why would somebody want to rob a bank for maybe a couple $100, maybe $1,000, or a corner store and risk getting caught? Because our success rate in arresting people who commit those types of property crimes in banks and stores, pretty good. We're pretty good at arresting and putting them in jail. When I can commit an online fraud for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, and get away with it, right? So the criminal element has figured out that they want to move to online crime because the risks to them go down dramatically of being identified. So this is one of the reasons why I've been ringing a bell for years now, even before I retired 3 years ago, that law enforcement, we need to understand this fact and we need to start getting online to conduct more online investigations. But like it or not, that takes time, effort, and resources. That takes money. And in today's fiscally restrictive environments in law enforcement, it's hard for them to do it. But this is where the criminal element is going, especially when it comes to fraudulent crime, right? Identity theft issues where they're going after your personal identity to steal your bank accounts and transfer money and doing stuff like that. So it's something that is a passion of ours. I mean, because we teach law enforcement, right, how to conduct online investigations.
That's what we did last weekend.
We did, and that's what we did down in Washington State. So this is where the criminal element is going. But one of the things I say to people is, if you're the type of person who's online and you're not sharing a lot of personal information, you're going to relatively stay safe, right? A lot of these guys are going online primarily for fraudulent reasons, and that's something that we should be aware of. Right? For sure. What's the next one?
Next one. I don't know how many people actually use this app, but I thought it was interesting to talk about in regards to Facebook.
What's going on with this one?
Facebook admits their Kids Messenger, or Messenger Kids, had some security holes which allow people to be added into groups without supervision.
Oh.
So here's the thing. So Facebook launched its kids version of its Messenger.
Right.
And it's for younger people, so parents can approve who
Right.
gets added into group chats and all
Right.
that stuff.
Right.
And it was supposed to be a safer environment for younger individuals to go online on Facebook and just engage.
Right.
However, it was announced that that there were some issues that people could be added to group chats who weren't approved by the supervisors of the family.
And that's never good, right?
No, that's certainly not good. And
Not desirable.
No.
Not desirable. I mean, but that's why we're presently working with a company right now, and we'll be able to talk more about that probably later this month, where they're actually have created a scaffolded environment where it's moderated and there's a less likelihood of these individuals getting in to prey upon our kids for whatever reason, right? So,
Yeah.
and we'll talk more about that. We're really kind of excited about it because this is, we think, is something that's really missing. I see a couple of people have reached out. Citrine Animations,
Yeah.
sup? Hey, what's up with
Hey.
you? Hey, woo woo! Hey, I saw that you put out a new Lego thing online there, a new animation that
they?
you did. He's good at what he does, eh?
He-
He really
yeah.
is. So big shout out to him. Unicorn Llama, to Brandon. I like your haircut, Brandon.
Thank you.
Show it off. Show it off.
This haircut?
Guess who did it?
Wait,
guess.
wait,
Guess.
wait.
Oh, there.
That one?
Yeah, don't give him my down because he'll just see a big bald
What?
spot, right? Like, look, see.
Ah!
It's like a big moon, right? So, but it was your partner, Candace. She cut your hair.
Yeah, Candace is actually very skilled in cutting hair.
She's certified and
She's a
trained as a
certified
stylist, right?
hairstylist,
So she
yeah.
actually cuts Beth's hair,
Yeah.
right? Your mom, my wife's hair. She does a pretty good job at it. So I'd get her to cut my hair, but you know, I don't. I kind of do it right now.
What was that
right?
again? What was that again?
Well, hold on. Here you go. Here you go. It's the moon, right? It's the moon. So, hey, don't laugh. You got my genes, kid. You could look like this.
No. I have more of mom's hair than
Yeah, you're right. You do come from
Yeah.
mom's side, so you probably won't get the. Yeah, so yeah, you know what? I don't think you're going to end up with my hairstyle, but there's nothing wrong with my hairstyle. Like, anyways. Yeah. Well, Candace just said at least you have more hair than my dad. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Lois. Yeah, whatever. So, what else we got going on?
This news article really hit the news hard this week in regards to the Capital One data breach.
Oh my God! Yet again.
Oh, boy.
Weekly, right? Weekly, if not
No,
daily.
this is a massive data breach. So what's interesting about this one is it's now one of the largest data breaches in history. One of the largest. Approximately 140,000 credit card customers' social security numbers were breached. Approximately 80,000 credit card customers' linked bank account numbers were leaked. Approximately 1 million social insurance numbers of Canadian credit card customers were leaked.
So this is in Canada too.
Yeah, Canadian customers as well.
Wow.
Apparently, the privacy commissioner is investigating, as
Go
they
figure.
do.
Yeah, go figure.
And apparently, what happened is the person had got access, and they published the breach on GitHub to everyone to download.
Yeah. So what's your recommendation?
The recommendation is obviously if you're a customer of Capital One, they announced that they will be connecting and with customers who have been affected. So if you are a customer of Capital One, you should be receiving any notification from them, and then they'll follow through with ways to secure your account.
Mm-hmm.
They are offering identity theft protection services, I think, for a year.
Well, that's kind of
For
that's
free?
nice of them. I mean, at the very least, that's
At
what
the
they
very
should
least,
do.
but if I were the cyber criminal, I just wait after a year, after the free credit reporting
Yeah.
is up, and
Yeah.
then steal identity.
So this is why they should be going in and changing username and passwords.
username,
immediately, right?
passwords. Unfortunately, if a social security number is breached, there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah,
Freezing your credit
that's a good idea.
is a good one,
Yeah,
which
that's a good idea.
prevents opening of new credit.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Right, and that's easily done. You just do that through your bank, right?
You do it through the credit reporting agencies.
Yeah.
So here in Canada, it's TransUnion and
Equifax.
Equifax.
Yeah, Equifax.
Which Equifax itself had a data breach a couple years ago.
Go figure. Go figure.
anyways.
That's a big deal, though, right? A big deal. And I bet you dollars to donuts. Get it? Donuts police. I bet you that it was as a result of a social engineering breach, right?
We'll see if any reports come out and that will determine what actually happened. But a significant issue that for any customers at Capital One do need to be aware of.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. What else?
You added this one to the notes in regards to e-cigarettes.
Yes.
Again, have made their mark in the news.
Yes.
In particular, I think this one is regards to a Juul store opening in Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, this has really been hitting hard over the past year and a bit now over the issue of vaping, right? And now that Juul, which is probably the most famous vaping product out there that a lot of kids are using right now, they're opening up a vendor-specific store of theirs in Toronto, so it kind of hit the headlines as well. And there's lots of talk about this, but you know what we did not too long, a couple months ago, is we wrote an article on vaping that was based upon hundreds of interviews that we conducted, right? So it's one right there that you can find on our website. And what is our website again?
Thewhitehatter.ca.
Thewhitehatter.ca. And if you go into thewhitehatter.ca and click on the upper top on the banner, you'll see blogs. If you click on blogs, I think it's on the second or third page on the blog right now, you'll see the article that we wrote. And what I really love about that article is it's from the perspective of teens, right? And we interviewed hundreds of them, and it really kind of explains to teens, parents, preteens, adults, teachers, educators, anybody, what is vaping, what are the products being used, how are they being used, and some of the dangers associated with it. Because there's still a lot of kids that believe that vaping is 100% safe. And I'll be honest with you, is it safer than cigarettes? Yes. Is it safe? Not necessarily so, right? Like, we're starting to see some research coming out, and that's the problem with vaping, is that we have what's called longitudinal research. And what's longitudinal research? You're the academic.
Research over time, so looking at something and how it impacts you over time. You just look at something at one point in time in history, you're not going to get a whole lot of data from that.
You know, when cigarettes were first brought out, we were told by the medical community that they were safe. In fact, you'd see doctors smoking on TV promoting cigarette brands. And then over time, longitudinal studies proved to us that they weren't as safe as we thought. Well, this is the fear with vaping right now, is that a lot of kids think that they're just breathing in water vapor, and they're not. They're breathing in other stuff when they're vaping. And so we don't know what the longitudinal results are going to be, but the bigger concern right now is the nic pods that are being used, right? The nicotine-contained pods. And nicotine is an extremely addictive substance, right? And so kids are now getting addicted to the nicotine. And one pod has the same nicotine level as a pack of cigarettes. Some of them, right? You can get different level of nic pod concentrations. So think about that. You know, you can finish one of those pods pretty quickly, and it's like you just smoked a whole package of cigarettes. So young people and even adults are becoming addicted to the nicotine, to the point now where the pods will get so expensive that young people and even adults will now go to tobacco because it's cheaper to get that nicotine high. So it's very interesting to see what's going on. But for those of you who are watching who are vaping, just understand that it may not be as safe as a lot of you think it is, especially if you're using the nic pods and stuff right now. So just something to be aware of, and check out our article. And again, I'm very proud of the fact that it was written based upon the interviews that we conducted with teens. Teens played a huge role in the article that we wrote here.
Actually, one of our most popular articles on our website.
Yeah, it is, right? Yeah, the analytics was showing us that a lot of people have read it from around the world, which is kind of cool. So, what do we got going on now?
Let's talk about, we have an interesting tech project we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Again, we love highlighting all the cool things that individuals are doing around the world with technology.
Yep.
And this one, actually a Vancouver-based individual.
I mean, how cool is this?
Where what they did is they developed an app that helps detect Alzheimer's disease.
Yeah, I mean,
how awesome is that?
How cool is that, right?
Yeah.
Like a teen developed an app that you can put on a phone that you can wear on your hip, and it kind of predicts or helps to predict the precursors of Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
I mean, like, how cool is that?
It's cool.
This is a teen, right? And so that's what I mean is, you know, too many parents think that social media and technology is this bad stuff. It just wastes kids' time and people's time, right? Well, technology, a lot of the kids are now becoming these producers, these creators, these inventors using technology to affect good in the world. And that's a really good example of a teen who did something, who used technology, who used coding, and developed this really cool app to help predict Alzheimer's. I mean, how cool is that?
That individual has a really bright future ahead
Oh,
of
you
themselves,
bet
doing
you
some
do.
really amazing things.
You bet they do, right?
And again, we just love highlighting these wonderful stories of doing great things with either developing apps or technology devices themselves and all that stuff.
It was like Citrine Animations who was on here where we showed what he was doing with Lego and how he's developing. Like he could produce his own Lego movie, like, and it would look like a real Lego movie. Unbelievable. And he's 14.
I know.
14, right? His dad was telling me that there's already companies, kind of organizations banging on his door, maybe sniffing around saying, hey kid, you looking for a job? I mean, how cool is that,
really
right?
cool.
Really cool. And same thing with this young man here from
Lewis
Vancouver.
Lobster asks a question, what are the pods?
Oh, the Nick pods they're also called juices, but the pods are what goes on the end of, say, a jewel,
Yeah.
right? Where they look like almost like little USB sticks and they just plug in, and that's what contains the juice. Sometimes they're flavored, sometimes they're not. They're also the ones that connect. If they're flavored, they also have the nicotine in them. And then you got the box pods. So you got the jewel. The jewel kind of looks like it kind of looks like a pen, but flatter. It looks like a big USB stick, right? But then you also got the mod pods that look like little boxes, and then you can actually get juices where you put the juices in, and that's what gets vaporized and that you inhale. So that's what that is. So Citrine Animations, a lot of work though to animate an entire movie by myself.
I'm sure it would.
I'm sure it would be, right? A lot of work, but just think, with a lot of hard work comes big rewards, right? Comes big rewards. So stick at doing what it is that you're doing, Citrine Animations. I mean, you're doing a really good job. And again, for those who are watching who want to see what another teen is doing in this area, check out his Twitter feed, right, on Citrine Animations. Just check him out there and see what he's doing, then that'll lead him to elsewhere. I think he's created a website. Hey, Citrine, if you have a website, maybe you can just send us a message on that, and we'll promote that website for you as well, so that everybody who's watching can go in and have a look and see what it is you're doing there. So, yeah, what else we got going?
That's generally what we have for the show this week. Any questions, comments from anyone watching? Because we love to answer them here on the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Do we have anything coming up next week?
Next week, no, we're not teaching at all next week. I mean, what we're primarily doing over the next 3 weeks is we're putting things into motions. Like I developed an app. There's the tease.
Yes, we are working on a White Hatter app.
We are.
I didn't know we were announcing that right now,
We're
but
not,
okay.
well, it's just a tease.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying, Candy just said executive decision. I didn't say what the app is, right? I didn't even say it was a White Hatter app. You tipped the hand on that one, right? It could be anything, but that's a little bit of a tease, right? And we'll kind of build into more of that. And then we're also building, I'll just say, some tools for teachers.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, some
that's
tools
fair.
for teachers. So we're working
We're
on
almost
that.
done those.
You're redesigning the website,
We're doing some website redesigns, yeah.
which is kind of cool.
Hoping, I've been meaning to, when the summer started, I've been wanting to do pre-recorded video work. But we've had so many updates and changes to things that we're doing, and so many administrative things. I just haven't had time yet.
The coding programs.
The coding camp. Those resources and tools for teachers we're working on.
We got some big things that we're going to be releasing here, probably the third week of August, just before school starts, right?
Yeah.
Is our goal. So that's kind of what was tying up a lot of our time. We're updating our lesson plans as well. We kind of do that already almost every other month, just because of how things quickly change and stuff. So we got some training coming up where we're bringing in some of the other White Hatter team, like Cal is coming in, Shannon's coming in to do some updated training with them, so that they can go out in the community and spread our word a little bit more. What else? Well, we're going to have a big White Hatter barbecue here for everybody who works with the company. Right? We're going to be doing that to celebrate the summer and planning into the future. We are chock-a-block full of...
We're busy. Although we're not in schools teaching right now, we are just as busy.
But we've also got a ton of contracts already for the fall, and even into the new year of schools wanting to bring us in, right? Right across Canada and the United States, which is really, really, really cool, right? So our message is spreading. I mean, a part of that is probably what we're doing here. And so I would encourage everybody who's watching us right now, spread the word, right? Send what us, send what we do, our YouTube channel, copy it and send it to other people, right? Let's get the message out there.
Yeah.
So we're really busy. So when's our next show?
The next show is going to be on August 11th. Yeah. Again, we're going back to weekly show. So again,
every week.
Yep. Again, we're still playing around with the 11 o'clock time slot. We'll try it, and we'll try it probably into October.
Yeah. Here's a question for those who are watching. Would you rather have the show at 11 a.m. in the morning or back to the 1 or 2 p.m. show that we were doing, right? Like we were looking at our analytics on YouTube just to see when people are the busiest. It showed around 11 o'clock, but I'm almost thinking that we had more people viewing at 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right? Yeah. So it would be interesting to hear from those people who are following us right now. What do you think, right? Would you rather do it?
Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe we'll, Candace just said in the background, maybe we'll do a poll on Instagram and see what our followers would determine.
That's a good idea as well, right? And it's amazing when we ask our followers questions, how they get back to us, right? Yeah. So now we had a little bit of so again, our show next week, same time, same bat channel.
Yes.
Same time, same bat channel.
For those of you who came over from Instagram, this week we were doing an Instagram poll giveaway. However, this morning when we were trying to pull the comments to put into the hat, unfortunately, Instagram was having some technical issues. You couldn't even access Instagram from the web browser, which was so we weren't able to pull the comments. However, what we did is,
and it wasn't just us, right? Everybody else. There were a lot of other people experiencing it as well, right?
So unfortunately, that's the way it is. But we were able, because it's now back up and running, we were able to pull a name at random from the pool of names. Unfortunately, they're not in a hat. We didn't have time because Instagram was down. Yeah. But I was handed this, and the winner.
Here we go. Hold it. Drum roll.
And the winner of the Instagram giveaway was Viv the Boss Ross. Viv the Boss Ross.
That's kind of cool. Viv the Boss Ross. It kind of flows. Kind of flows. Yeah. Hey, we're getting some feedback already from people who are finding. They think 1 to 2. Life of Potter. 1 to 2. Yeah, Lowest Lobster. 1 to 2. Right. So maybe moving it back to the 1 or 2 time slot might be better.
We'll do a poll on maybe Facebook and Instagram and figure out what times are best.
Yeah, for sure. Great show.
Yeah, really great.
Another good show. 30 minutes goes by really quick. Hard to believe that it's 30 minutes just blew by like that. Yeah. But
we're constantly making changes to the show and the back end. Hopefully, for those of you longtime viewers who know that we sometimes have gremlins, I think I have figured out a way to more reliably ensure the audio is synced up with the video.
Yes. So that we don't look like the old Japanese action movies with Godzilla where they go, Godzilla.
Yes.
Over there, right? Yeah. That we were having.
We were certainly having issues. Again, I mean, the show. We're super busy, and doing the show is certainly time, but it's time that we want to invest.
For sure.
And it's only going to get better from here. And we have plans to incorporate more segments and more variety into the show as well.
For sure.
So look forward to that in the future.
Yeah, for sure. So on behalf of myself, Darren.
And Brandon and Candace, the social media coordinator director in the back, who's been answering all your questions and comments. We'll see you next week at 11 o'clock.
We're going to go 11 o'clock again. One more show. We're going to put out that Instagram poll this week to see what's going on. But next week, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
So see you next time.
See you, everyone.
Bye now.